continue escalating at college campuses around the country. Pro-Palestinian protesters at the new school brought traffic to a standstill, demanding the university divest from Israel. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Taitt is live in Greenwich Village. Phil, good morning.
Charlene, good morning. Things might be quiet, but a powerful message is being sent out right now. Upon our arrival, we spoke with about 4 students who say they will not leave from the inside of the new school until their demands are met. I want you all to take a look at what we saw from when we arrived here. Multiple signs just lining the front entrance of the new school, and just inside we saw a few people. We saw tents, flags, and much signage talking about divestment and talking about their demands that they have even this morning. Right now, we do know that there are ongoing conversations, between the NYPD, the city, and various school administrations about when these protests pop up, much of like the one that we're seeing right now. And that's what we've seen over the past several days. I want to get straight to some video right now showing what happened just hours ago here as students sounded off near East 13th and 5th Avenue. A fired up demonstration with many clapping, chanting, and even banging on instruments. There were also counter protests yesterday evening with the NYPD standing by. Scenes like this becoming a familiar sight for many colleges and universities grappling with how to ease an already heightened situation with protesters as students call on these institutions to divest from Israeli-related entities. Now, over at NYU, more protests continued where students continue to occupy an outside corridor filled with tents and signs. Protesters standing their ground at this encampment as they say they do not plan to leave, although mass arrests have already happened between City College and Columbia. Between both schools, 282 people were arrested, and police say 47% weren't even affiliated with these schools. Right now, an active investigation underway since Columbia requested the NYPD to move in. While entering Hamilton Hall Tuesday night, an NYPD officer unintentionally discharged their weapon, striking no one, but this, as the mayor says, there were people who should have not been there.
So we see familiar faces and people around the protest, and they came back substantiated on the Columbia grounds and on other grounds that there were those who were professionals who participated in training, participated in some of the activities.
The idea of all of us being outside agitators is entirely false. The vast majority are current students. Everyone had a connection to Columbia in one way or another.
Again, right now at 4:39 in the morning, you are looking at an encampment inside of this lobby. Much signage even posted up on that wall. Students have been walking around. Again, I told you I spoke with a few students this morning who say they will not leave until their demands are met. Tents are all inside of this lobby, and this as students say that they will continue to raise their voices. Now, we do know the situation over in Columbia, that the Manhattan DA's Police Accountability Unit is taking a look into that, and later this morning we expect a press conference from the NYPD giving us updates as to where they stand in their investigation. We're in Greenwich Village. I'm Phil Taitt, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Phil, thank you.